Islam is one of the most misunderstood religions on earth. For over 1.8 billion people, it's a way of life. Yet for many others, it's seen as a threat, too often reduced to fear, shaped by headlines and misunderstood without context. So we asked artificial intelligence, why is Islam so misunderstood? We scanned thousands of sources, viral videos, trending posts, biased headlines and online debates, and used AI to uncover how Islam is misrepresented, misunderstood and manipulated across global media, conversations and culture. But we didn't stop at data. We combined machine intelligence with real Muslim insight to uncover not just the falsehoods, but the human cost and the truth behind every myth. In this video, we'll count down the top 10 most common lies about Islam, ranked from the familiar and subtle to the most dangerous and destructive. And the last one? It's the myth that fuels nearly all the others. This isn't just a video for Muslims. It's for Christians, Jews, Hindus, atheists, anyone who's ever been misled by headlines and is ready to see the truth for themselves. Here on AI Faith Journey, we explore religion through the lens of technology, truth, and the soul. And today, we're not just setting the record straight, we're confronting the lies head-on and restoring what was distorted, one myth at a time. If you care about truth, justice, and peace like this, share this and let it be heard. Because peace begins with understanding, and understanding starts with knowledge. Let's start with a quick test. What image comes to mind when you hear the word Muslim? If you imagined a bearded Arab man or a veiled woman in the desert, congrats, you've been media trained. Here's the truth. Over 80% of Muslims are not Arab. Islam is practiced in more than 190 countries. The country with the largest Muslim population, Indonesia, not Saudi Arabia. There are Chinese Muslims, Nigerian Muslims, Latino Muslims. Islam isn't an ethnicity, it's a global faith. This stereotype shrinks a vast worldwide religion into a narrow image and makes it feel foreign. For non-Arab Muslims, this feels like erasure, like their identity is overwritten. Saying, I'm Muslim but not Arab should never come as a surprise. This myth turns identity into suspicion. But in reality, Islam wears every face, speaks every language, and walks in every culture on earth. The idea that 1.9 billion people think the same, that's not just wrong, it's absurd. You can't even get 3 Muslims to agree on where to eat after Friday prayers. Islam includes Sunni, Shia, Sufi, liberal, conservative, spiritual, secular. There are Muslim poets, scientists, rappers, activists and farmers. They debate theology, dress, music, even how to pray. And that's not a weakness, it's strength. It's proof of thought, experience and depth. But this myth strips that away. It erases individuality, it flattens humanity. And it means when one Muslim does something wrong, all Muslims are blamed. Muslims don't all think they're alike. What unites them is belief in God and the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Beyond that, differences are natural and always have been. Some people believe that Muslims worship a different God, even a false one. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Allah is simply the Arabic word for God. Arab Christians use the same word. So do Arab Jews. Muslims, Christians and Jews all trace their spiritual lineage back to Abraham. They worship the same creator. This myth doesn't just confuse language, it cuts off connection. It builds walls where there should be bridges. But the reality is simple. One God, different name, same origin. One of the most common myths that Islam is stuck in the past, anti-science, anti-progress. But history tells a different story. Islamic civilization helped shape the modern world. Algebra, hospitals, surgical tools, libraries, even the scientific method. And today, Muslims are doctors, engineers, researchers. Some are even helping build the future of artificial intelligence. Let's be honest, wearing a headscarf doesn't block Wi-Fi. This myth says Muslims can't be modern unless they leave their faith behind. But the truth? Muslims around the world balance tradition and innovation every day, because faith and progress aren't enemies. They grow side by side. One of the most damaging myths is that Islam oppresses women. Yes, in some countries, strict laws exist. But don't confuse culture with religion. Islam gave women rights to inherit, own property, choose a spouse, and pursue education, long before the West did. And hijab? It's not a muzzle. For many, it's a personal, powerful act of faith. Try interrupting a hijabi during a debate and see how oppressed she really is. This myth silences Muslim women by speaking over them. It turns faith into a cage in the eyes of outsiders. But ask most hijabi women and they'll tell you, I chose this, it gives me strength. Muslim women don't need rescuing, they need to be heard. And so does this entire message. Enough lies, enough stereotypes, enough myths about Islam. If you care about truth, say it. Like, share, subscribe. Even one emoji in the comments says you're with us. Your voice and your support matter more than ever. We've talked about identity, strength and truth, but there's more to clear up. They don't integrate, they stay separate. That's the claim. Let's break it down. Muslims in the West go to school, they pay taxes, vote, volunteer, serve in the military, raise families, they live in cities and suburbs, coach soccer, run businesses, serve in local government, they speak the language, celebrate local traditions, and yes, they bring their own, they binge Netflix, they eat takeout, they order pineapple on pizza. Sometimes, being Muslim isn't separation. It means carrying your faith into everyday life, like any believer. This myth makes Muslims feel like guests in their own countries, like they'll never fully belong unless they erase who they are. But integration doesn't mean losing your identity. It means contributing to the place you call home. And Muslims have been doing that quietly, consistently and proudly for generations. So next time your Muslim neighbor greets you with salam while cheering for your football team, that's not separation, that's community. Islam can't coexist. That's the accusation. But the Qur'an says, there's no compulsion in religion, and to you your way, and to me mine. Historically, Muslims didn't just tolerate other faiths, they protected them. In Spain, in India, in the Ottoman Empire, churches, synagogues, temples all stood. Multi-faith societies flourished under Islamic rule. And today, look around. In cities like London, New York and Jakarta, Muslims live side by side with Christians, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, even atheists. They share neighborhoods, classrooms and community dinners. This myth paints Islam as a threat to religious freedom, but it's not Islam that fears difference, it's ignorance that does. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, signed treaties with Jews and Christians. He protected their places of worship, and he called them people of the book. This isn't conquest. It's coexistence, and it's been part of Islam since the beginning. One word gets twisted more than any other, jihad. To many, it's been falsely translated as holy war. But in Islam, it means struggle, often an internal one, against pride, temptation and injustice. Islam doesn't glorify violence, it forbids it. The Qur'an says, whoever kills one innocent soul, it is as if they have killed all of humanity. Still, this myth has turned Muslims into suspects. It has made peace-loving people live under a cloud of suspicion. It has made faith itself feel dangerous, but the truth is Islam teaches patience, mercy, self-control. A religion can be strong without being violent. And Islam proves that every single day. If most terrorists are Muslim, then Muslims must be dangerous. That myth exploded after 9/11, but it's driven by fear, not facts. According to the FBI, Europol and international studies, most terror attacks in the West are committed by non-Muslims, especially by far-right extremists. And when attacks do happen by Muslims, the first victims are often other Muslims. They report threats, they stop attacks, they condemn violence loudly, clearly and repeatedly. So why does the myth survive, John? Because media coverage isn't equal. Muslim suspect makes headlines, white shooter gets called a lone wolf. AI doesn't do bias, it analyzes data, and the data says, terrorism isn't Islamic, terror has no religion. This myth casts suspicion on 1.9 billion people for the actions of a few. But the truth, Muslims grieve with victims. They stand against hate. They are not the threat. They are part of the solution. Ah yes, the conspiracy grand finale, Taqiyya! The myth that Muslims are secretly lying, pretending to be peaceful while plotting to take over the world. Let's be clear, Islam condemns lying, always. Taqiyya was a narrow rule, used by some Shia Muslims when facing torture or death. Not a strategy, not a belief, not a global Muslim practice. This myth poisons trust. It says no matter how kind or honest a Muslim is, you shouldn't believe them. It turns empathy into paranoia. It makes sincerity feel suspicious. Ask any Muslim, we're not hiding a secret agenda, we're just trying to live. And if Muslims were secretly planning world domination, they've been spectacularly inefficient for 1,400 years. Most Muslims just want to live in peace, to worship, raise their kids, build their lives, and not constantly be treated like suspects. So the next time someone whispers they're hiding something, maybe what they're hiding is their exhaustion. We asked artificial intelligence to uncover the most common lies about Islam, but what we found went deeper than headlines. We found fear. We found ignorance. We found mistrust. But through it all, we found truth. And behind that truth, real people, real voices, real lives. If this video opened your eyes, even just a little, don't let it stop here. Like it, share it. And let truth travel faster than fear. This isn't just a defense of Islam, it's a call for clarity, for faith, for peace. This is AI Faith Journey, where artificial intelligence meets real belief. See you on the next journey. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you.